Yo, what's up, people? What's up? Better Late Never podcast in the goddamn building. We back in this bitch. What's up, people? How the fuck are y'all out here doing this beautiful afternoon? Yeah, it's afternoon. You know, as a matter of fact, round of applause for afternoon, man. Great afternoon out here. Great. The last of one of the few times that fall, winter looks this good. You know, I'm loving it right now. It's a great time to pod and get some things off my mind. And we gon', I'm gonna make some head diving. I'm gonna make some head diving real deep today. I'm gonna do some deep sea head diving. You know, get into some things definitely. So you can check this podcast out on Spreaker.com. Y'all know the damn app I've been doing this shit from by now. Spreaker.com. Catch me out on my YouTube channel with Steve Eskridge. Type in Steve Eskridge. That's my YouTube channel. Catch it on there. I'm on Spotify podcast as well as Steve Eskridge in the Society and Culture section of podcasting. It's not that hard to find. Spotify and Joe Budden. I ain't got to say too much. Shout out to y'all. Whatever. iHeartRadio. I'm on there now. You can catch me on Instagram too. My Instagram is Stephen ESKRI. Stephen ESKRI. That's me on Instagram. And my Twitter is Stephen Eskridge1. That's Stephen Eskridge1 on my Twitter as well. And people. It's a great time for music. Everybody was talking about, Steve, you don't get in your music bag no more. You know, you talk about the relationship things and, you know, the social justice and everything. When you a music guy, I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I said, don't worry about it. When some shit started dropping with my elitist ass, yes, I'm a little bit of an elitist, I will say. I kind of only like really, not that I don't check for the new ages, but my favorite to listen to is, you know, the elites, the legends, so to speak. So I really go to those a lot, but I am always keeping the ear open for, you know, what's current, what's going on, what's being listened to, whether I like it or not, or whether it's for me or not. I still at least want to make myself aware. And I try to make myself as aware as possible. But one thing I really have to take a dive into right now is shout out to TIP, man. Shout out, you know. Shout out to TIP, man. Living legend, man. You know, straight up living legend. Man coming with his 11th studio album. You know, Libra. I have to get back to what the acronym stand for. It's an acronym. I have to get back to what they stand for. But that's his 11th album. You know, now a lot of folks is saying, wow, this guy's on album number 11. Like, yes, people, 11. And not just making 11 albums and nobody gives a fuck. No, we still give a fuck. People still give a fuck. T.I. is T.I. Most definitely. And we have to put more respect on a person of his stature name. You know, because for me, you got guys like him, Jeezy, and Ludacris. Shit, that's 60% of Atlanta, as far as I'm concerned. The other half of it, you know, your Jermaine Dupri's, your Outkast, you know, guys of that caliber. But after that, T.I., Luda, and Jeezy, you know, man, wow. You know, yeah, I hear some folks saying you could throw a Gucci in there, something like that too. You know, you throw him in there. But those guys, those three for me, as far as hip hop goes, you take those guys away, it's a lot that we might not hear. You know, Lil Jon too, you know, shout out to him. You know, but it's just a lot. So just first off, just shout out to Atlanta, Definitely shout out to y'all. Give me y'all flowers. I'm in Chicago, Chi-Town, Midwest, but we ain't never been hating. We in the middle of everything, so we didn't hurt it all. We rock with y'all, but I'm getting the tip, man, for a little sec. Tip, 11 albums. Since 2000 what? First album, I'm Serious. Classic, as far as I'm concerned. Real classic. Real slept on. As far as I'm concerned, it's definitely a classic, though. You got joints on there, he has a contest right now with folks voting on the most favorite song. Giving $1,200 to whoever, a random person, to whoever, puts in a vote. That's the favorite song, which I think is an excellent marketing strategy. Excellent way to show fans appreciation for being such dedicated fans over almost 20 years. I think it's a great thing. Beautiful thing. But you got joints on there. Now, my favorite song on that album I picked was, him and Pharrell, Pussy Papa #1. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that was my shit. But still, I forgave myself. It was real deep. T.I. really expounded on a lot of his, the trap stories, the dope boy stories about the game, and just his life in general, like he's always done throughout the course of his discography. And, he making a real head dive, on that song. So I wasn't shocked that, I think somebody won that one too, if I'm not mistaken, but I wasn't shocked that was picked as the favorite song on the album. I definitely wasn't. But see, that's how I know I'm a T.I. nerd. Because back in 2001, I was 16. I remember one of my other guys, he put me up on him. And I didn't know who he was myself. So I was like, oh, okay, this the dude? Okay. So I had no idea. So a lot of folks, including, if it wasn't, and I would have been thinking the same way if I'd have had someone put me up on him, a lot of people would have thought Trap Music was his first album. But Trap Music was his second album. A lot of folks don't know. That's his sophomore album. A lot of folks don't know that. That's just the word that caught the masses. That's the one that caught everybody's attention. Like, oh shit, who the fuck is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck is this little nigga from Atlanta talking about he the king of the South? Like. But I'm going to a little deeper tip though. That album right there, Trap Music, the hell with the songs. That lingo, that word, trap. Now I know that's a southern word, definitely. And that's something I'm gonna expound on even more in a couple minutes, but I'm gonna kick it off with him, to me. That word, trap, who the fuck y'all know anywhere outside of Atlanta, who y'all know was using that shit? Well, in fact, anywhere outside of the South, maybe. Just the South. Who y'all know outside of the South was using that goddamn word, man? Come on, think about it. Think about it. I don't know nobody outside of Atlanta who was using that word. Back then, especially, that was 2002 that album dropped. I don't know nobody outside of Atlanta was using that word. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, okay, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know nobody who's using that word. I don't. So he brought that word for me to the forefront as a, drug dealing on the corner or whatever. I mean, y'all know, man, you know how it go. So he made that term popular for me. Cause I didn't know the fuck trap, like trap music. Like, what are you talking about, trap music? Like, you trapped inside of a closet somewhere, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Man. You trapped inside of a car. You trapped like that's the music about being trapped. Or you trapped in your mind. I even went that far. You trapped in your mind. Like no, nigga. He talking about dope boy music. You know, music dope boy listened to while they was slanging the shit. Huge album, man. Huge album. You know, we all remember that's what brought Tip to the forefront. That's definitely what brought Tip to the forefront. You know, you had, do I need to expound? You know, Be Easy, Let's Get a Room, you know, King of the South. Oh man, 22s. I mean, yeah, like wow. You know, that album was something else, man. Rubber Band Man. I mean, hey, y'all already know. I ain't gotta, you know. Takes Off on that album. You know, now he's introduced to the masses. That's his second now. That's not his first, y'all. That's his second. You know? Here we go. You know, third. You know, now here we go, Urban Legend. You know? Ooh, excuse me. Y'all know what time that was. Excuse me. But he goes to Urban Legend now. Album number 3. In the middle of that, goes to jail. You know, gets locked up. You know, T.I. has a very checkered past, let him tell you. You know, he did his. He got a nice rap sheet on him. Nice rap sheet on him. But he gets locked up in that process, but he came out pretty good. Came out of the situation good, thankfully. And Urban Legend, hey, skyrocketed, you know. Shout out to that album too, man. Both those albums, matter of fact. Changed the landscape of the, you know, they got the South really, South was already coming. Lil Jon, you know, Luda, Outkast, like, hey, they was already there, but it was just a different energy with Tip. You know, Tip showed you how nuts it was finna get in Atlanta, cause it's like, those guys I just named you, they was already doing it. Now y'all gotta add this dude to the mix. Like, oh boy, like it's finna get rough, and hey, it's finna get rough. Another classic album. Definitely another classic album. You know, You Don't Know Me, you know, hey, bring them out. I mean, come on, I gotta keep expounding y'all, bring them out. Oh my goodness, ASAP, you know, shit. Motivation. Like, come on, y'all. Don't make me do it again. Don't make me do it again. But, nonetheless, classic album. Classic album. Definitely. By this point, now it's like, this dude is not going nowhere no time soon. We have to deal with the fact that T.I.P. is going to be here in the building. We have to listen to him. And I'm saying us as hip-hop listeners. Because by that time, for me, I was like a year removed out of high school. Oh yeah, it was like Tip was that dude, you know, hottest at this point. You know, the consistency was starting to show. Cause now you got 2 albums back to back you just dropped, and it just felt you just saw it like this is still only the beginning with those 2 albums. It's only the beginning. And to say that, it was crazy back then. That's 2004? Yeah. So to say that, 2004, 2003, so to say that, oh my goodness. It was about to get real. It was definitely about to get real. Rather than it already was. So now, you talk about album 3. That's album 3 you talk about. You go to album 4, the Almighty King has risen. And I do mean he has risen. Speak for itself, man. Get that album a gunshot, man. Double gunshot on that, man. King album is one of the best albums in the last 20 years. Yeah, I said it. The last 20 years. That album came out 2005, 2006, around that time, 05, I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was 05. 05, 06, one of them years. But regardless, that's 20 years almost. 20 years, arguably. At least 17 to 18 years right there. Like, once again, come on, man. What's that album itself? He packages that album, which was highly anticipated coming off Urban Legend. He packs that album with the classic movie, ATL. And I say it's classic. You can argue if you want to. Steve, it's not a classic. It was alright. Okay, fine, cool. Fine. I don't have an issue with that. Just to me, it's a classic movie. Definitely a classic movie. Album does insane numbers, anticipation, everything. 500,000, man. 1 week, 500,000. Y'all understand the fuck I just said? 500,000. 1 week. This was back then. This was back then, you know. Goes on to be one of the, like I say, best album of the year. A lot of people would argue that year. Y'all know how that went. No. Him and Luda have had their spats. Sparked one of the best hip-hop battles to me ever, him and Ludacris. You know, I love the back and forth they had, too. I was loving it. I was front and center for Jay-Z and Nas and, you know, those. So, I loved it. And around that time, too, Beanie Siegel and Jadakiss. Come on, man. Let's shot for that one, man. Siegel and Kiss, holy shit. Oh, man. That's a lot right there. But anyway, they had a great back and forth, T.I. Luda did. Definitely did. Y'all know about the spat at the Grammys. If anybody doesn't know, they had a spat at the Grammys about assuming it was some jealousy over Ludacris winning it. Cause Luda had a great album that year too, that Release Therapy. Hey, you know, gunshot for that one. Yeah, you know that year. Hey, it was a lot going on that year, 06. Oh yeah, it was definitely a lot going on. But a lot of folks, you know, said it could have went either way. You know, but a lot of people definitely would have said T.I. had the album of the year, regardless of genre. You know, album of the year. Oh, my mom's calling me. 1 second, people. 1 second. Yeah. Don't you hate when your mom calls you when you're doing some stuff? Like, Mom, I'm potting. Get back to you. Oh, man. But yeah, man. That was one of the best albums of that year, though, people. You know, King was, woof. It's up there. It's a diamond. It's definitely a diamond. It didn't go diamond, but it's a diamond. It's up there. I can just say the album. I'm not naming not one track off that album, but y'all know. I don't have to. You know, y'all know. You know, it speaks for itself. What you know about that? What you know about that? What you know about that? I know all about Loaded. Hey, come on, man. Y'all remember? Why you wanna? Come on. Yeah, y'all remember. Y'all remember? Y'all definitely remember. So that album goes on to do what it does along with the movie. Debut #1. Both debut #1 now. Both #1. You drop a movie and an album that's #1 same fucking week. Come on, man. You on top of the... Come on, man. That man was on top of the universe, man. And I do mean universe. I don't know if any rapper ever did anything like that. I've never heard of a rapper star in a movie that debuts #1, while at the same time you have the #1 album in the country doing ignorant numbers, ignorant anticipation. And I mean ignorant as far as just insane. I mean, let me just say insane. Insane anticipation, insane energy. You felt it. When you went outside, you felt it. We all felt it. Like the king has fucking arrived. Coming off the other 2 classic albums he's already dropped. What the? Come on, man. Just got done dropping 2 classic albums. And that is the king? Come on, man. With the movie, a classic movie at that? Wow. You know, then, hey, that album goes on to do what it does. We get T.I. vs. T.I.P. Another classic album. You know. Album was great. I might say it was alright, Steve. That album was great. I liked it. That was a great album. That was a great album. Big shit popping on there. Hey, the joint with him and Wyclef. You know, you got the Busta Rhymes joint. That thing changed, still get that thing right up under my shirt. Money get hurt. Hey, come on, man. Don't get me started, man. I know, man. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started, man. But great album. By no means coming off the King album. Not a flop at all. Some folks was whispering that. Nah, hell no. Nah. You know, was it better than King? If you want to argue that, okay, hey. But flop, no. And that's the thing, you know, that's the type of standard you set for yourself after you come off an album like that. That's like Nas coming off of Illmatic, or it's like Jay coming off Reasonable Doubt. That's like Snoop coming out the Doggy Style. That's like Pac coming out the, you know, Strictly for My Niggas, or Tupacalypse now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you coming off one of them joints, it's like, you know. It's like you're held to this impossible standard. You know, but anyway, that album is a great album by far no means, or by no means a bad album. I should correct myself saying that. I said by far no means. Fuck. Making up shit. But that album goes on to do what it does as well. Now for me, y'all, for me, that's 4 classic albums in a row. That's 4. That is 4 classic albums in a row to me. A lot of people would argue it too. Trap music, Urban Legend, King. Now we got T.I. versus T.I.P. With some of the joints I just named you off that album too. But all that came to a halt when he had the gun case, got caught with 80 guns and all that stuff, yada yada yada. We know how that went. Rest in peace to Falant too. Falant, I forgot the man's last name, so I won't say, I don't want to get it wrong. But I know his first name was Falant. So rest in power, should I say, to him. But I remember there was a lot going on about that circumstance. It's coming from him getting into a altercation, I believe it was in Cincinnati, at a show. And how it went very T.I.P.-ish, if you will, around that time. It went very T.I.P.-ish from how it went. But regardless, everything was what it was. Now for me, from what I remember around that time, they caught the guys who did it, obviously. And from what I remember him saying he was going to make sure they were brought to justice, I think, for the people of Phil. Maybe not so much for him. I'm going to have to go check that again. But regardless, I remember him saying that. Around that time, I remember him saying that. Because a lot of folks, T.I.'s a street guy, obviously. From the street. Cold of streets, you don't tell anyone, blah, blah, blah. You don't go to the authority for help. None of that. But I really believe he did that. I believe him when he did that for the parents of Falant. Yeah, I think if it was just up to him, I don't think he would have, But that's just me. That's just how I always looked at that. That's how I always looked at that. And that's why he gets this label nowadays. People, T.I.'s a snitch. He went to authority. Okay. If you want to say that, all right. But he said, then I remember. That's what it was about. And he knew he would face a lot of backlash for that. Because this guy, he'd been in jail, we know, and y'all know how that cold shit was back then, definitely. So, I remember that. But regardless, he did it. Folks who, I think by him saying it too, like owning up to it, if you will, I think that's why a lot of people still felt the way they felt. But a lot of them, you had to respect it in the end. Because to him, he's saying it wasn't about me. It was about, the loved ones of the one who was taken away. He took himself out of the equation. So, regardless, that album, though, it went on to do what it did. T.I. eventually got past everything. Glad to say the dudes who took Falant were brought to justice. And the rest is history, basically. And that was a real life That was a life-changing time with T.I. Definitely was. But back to the facts, though, people. That's classic album number 4. That man at this moment has 4 classic albums, man. 4. We talking trap music. We talking trap music. We talking urban legend. We talking King. Excuse me. Now we talking T.I. versus T.I.P. And I said Sirius was a classic to me. So if you want to roll with my word on that, we talking 5. But I say, okay, it's Sirius. I get it. Everybody didn't, okay. So I said, fuck it. 4 classics. 4 classic albums out of 5 albums since 2001. At this point, it's 2007. Guys on fire. Top of the universe. Like, you walk outside, you feel T.I. energy. Clothing, got a cool clothing. I just was rocking some cool shit the other day. Fuck y'all, shut up. I don't want to hear shit. Still rocking cool, Steve. Fuck out of here. Fuck y'all. But regardless, around that time, you felt the T.I. energy, people. It cannot be denied. It cannot be denied. You felt it. So, hey, it was real out there, man. So he goes, sets off for a little minute. He goes and drops No Mercy. I think it was some label issues around that time. He had maybe 1 or 2 albums left under the label he was under around that time. And it was starting to, renegotiate, whatever it was. So No Mercy was a good body of work. It actually was. Just with him serving his time and everything, it couldn't, and everything else, he really couldn't put too much promotion on that, I guess. So it dropped, but you wouldn't even know when it came out because of lack of promotion and marketing put into the album. But regardless, it was made. Like I say, if you listen to it, it's a great body of work. T.I. didn't lose a thing. Didn't lose a thing. So now that's like album number 6 now. That's not a classic. But we on album number 6 at this point. Now, if you want to count that. Now, to me, I was like, I counted it, but whatever. But regardless, it's album number 6. We just gonna roll with that album 6. Now, he comes back with the almighty Paper Trail. Round of applause, man. Oh, beautiful album. Beautiful album. Beautiful. Beautiful album. Another classic. Another one. Another classic. Debuted number 1 on the charts. Did about 3 or 4 on the charts, whatever. Won a Grammy. At this point. Swagger Like Us. No one knows gonna get. No one. I shot for that song too. Somebody said that song was bullshit. That's another one, man. That song was the SHIT, capital letters, shit. Absolutely was. Put that word swag into another stratosphere as well. Whole other stratosphere. The word was starting to get dropped more and more by a lot of rappers in the game, but that album, that song dropped. And then with the MIA sample, the number none gonna got us smagging like like, yeah, I was listening to her back then. Shut up. I was listening to her back then too. Off that, cause I want to know a lot of us we want to know who the fuck is that on the hook. She killing that shit. Where did that come from? We wanted to know. So hey, we went on with it. So Paper Trail, he does the joint with Rihanna. He has the No Matter What I Say joint. Oh man, he just had a lot going on that album, man. That album was, oof. That was definitely a classic. That was the comeback album that people were waiting for from him. It definitely was. And it showed that not only had he came back, it showed that he wasn't going anywhere once again. Like we back to saying on Urban Legend, King, hey, this guy gonna be around for a while. He ain't going nowhere. So that album definitely re-cemented himself. At that point, you talking about legendary status now. At that point, that's album 6. That's album 6 to 7, depending on you want to count them. You want to count No Mercy or whatever. 6, 7 albums in, you talking legend status now. So he drops that. Now y'all gotta remember. Now we on 5 classic albums now. Think Trap Music, Urban Legend, King, T.I. vs. T.I.P., and then this Paper Trail. That's 5 classic albums right there. 5. You can't deny them. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Trap Music. Can't deny it. Urban Legend. Can't deny it. King. You get 2 gunshots for King. T.I. vs. T.I.P. Come on, man. And then you come out of that and you gonna give us Paper Trail? Come on, hey man. Gotta get a man his flowers, man. You got to. That was one of my segments I said I was gonna come in here and do. We come and talk of the music, So he comes with Paper Trail, re-cements himself as, one of the guys as a not only a force in Southern music or just Southern hip hop, but just the game in general. Oh, excuse me, oh boy. Yeah, on the podcast, I'm trash. But then he comes back and gives us Trouble Man. Heavy is the Head. Trouble Man was even a good album. Was not even a good. Great album. Actually was. Shout out to that album. Shout out to that album. Definitely was a great album. Because by this time, some folks was starting to say, oh, okay, here we go. He's falling off. Nah, he's about to fall off for real. Nah. That album, top to bottom, was great. Top to bottom, that was a great album. And I do mean it was a great album. That album came out 2012. Yeah, so now we talking about that's 8 albums. 8 albums now. Album number 8, which ain't bad. He ain't fell off it. But by 2012, it's a new millennium now. It's 10 years in. You got other guys coming in now. You got other up and coming young kids now starting to establish themselves. make themselves known, getting introduced everywhere. And I guarantee you, most of these kids in Atlanta, especially, by this time, the word trap, oh boy, it's everywhere now. We start using the damn shit up here. In Chicago, we was talking about trap up here. Everywhere was trap. Everywhere. Trap this, trap that. Everything was trap. So that walks me right into the segue of one of my biggest point on this part. I said earlier that T.I., Luda, and Jeezy, you take them away from Atlanta, what do you got? And I dropped a few other names, like I say, Jermaine Dupri, you still got Gucci. You still Outkast, obviously. Fucking keeps getting them. Shoot myself. But after those, and I'm just only counting hip hop. Don't sit up there, man. You left out Usher, man. What the fuck? Bam. Talk about hip hop here. Rappers. That's what I'm talking about. Ush is Ush. First off, I don't care where you put Usher at. He's Usher. Like, speaks for itself. But regardless, the South was just at an all-time buzz by that time. And even the slang the slang has been used everywhere. Trap and turn up now. That's starting to come to a float. And this syrup, the promethazine, and hey, that's Lil Wayne. We all know what influence he had on that. You can go back to 3 6 Mafia. Hey, forgot about them, didn't y'all? Forgot about them, didn't y'all? Hey, sipping notes, sipping notes, sipping notes. Y'all forgot about them, man. Project Pat, all them, man. But I'm just saying, by this time, we are so southernized out here now. Like, the game is really in the South. The hip-hop culture was officially in the South. And the culture was being ran by the South. So they're the epicenter of what's cool and what's not, so to speak. What's in and what's not, so to speak. What's the latest wording, if you will? Like, that's the where we at right now. That leads me to right where we at right now today. The South. Still the South, still Atlanta, but now it's just more the South. That was Atlanta, but it's more all over the South now. You got Miami, you got Houston, Louisiana, Alabama. Like, it's a big name representative from all these southern cities and states now for hip hop, for the game. So that's why I had to start off with just giving Tip his props, for the groundwork he laid out. And that's why I shouted out Jeezy and Luda as well. But also, what I want to say is, with that being said, since the game is in the South now too, you got guys now like 21, and I love 21 Savage. I shout for that. Rock with 21 Savage on the third album, named Metro Boomin. Have a great album, Metro Boomin. Hey, come on, man. Metro out here doing it as he's been doing for a good while now. Nothing new. So he's been doing pretty good. But the South, there's like every generation where the game, whether a certain location of the map, if you will, was the epicenter of the culture for everything that was cool and was not. Like the West Coast had their time, and the game come from New York, so the East Coast always had its time, and then Midwest we. Oh boy, excuse me. Oh boy, that's how I know I'm high as shit, y'all. Y'all know I'm high. But I was getting to us in the Midwest, Chicago, or just most Midwest cities. We still, it's like people are still figuring this out because we still got so much shit that's coming out of the city, but it's starting to get there. It's starting to arise there once again. Because it always rises, goes away, and then comes back. It's always something within Chicago that goes away, comes back, trend gets set, cool off, go back, whatever. It's always something. So my thing is, like, the game has always had its good and bad wherever it was checked in at or located at. That's what I'm trying to say. I took a little pause for a sec, but that's what I'm trying to say. It was always a good and a bad on each side. A pro and a con to looking at that. Like all this drugs and turn up and language and hell, I'll give you another one, strip club culture. Hey, come on, shout out to Lil Jon, yeah. Yeah. South had us celebrating strip club culture more than ever because that's how it was treated down there. The strip clubs like regular places to people down there. It was like walking into a McDonald's, regular day. Hey, that's what they do. Another day at the office. And people sit down and eat. Like, can't sit down and stay out. Like, can't do it. But a lot of folks will. And depending on where you're at, I've heard they got some good food too. So don't ask me how I know. Yeah, don't ask me. Do not ask me how I know. But regardless, the South has a lot to do with what's going on out here in hip-hop culture right now. It really does. Good and bad. And I think I heard Lil Jon break it down pretty good. I heard him break it down far just saying the South at that time when he arrived, I remember, around the same time as T.I., not too far from it. We listened to Lil Jon 2001, yeah, say about around the same time. But regardless, they was trying to, when they came in, they was trying to get somebody, Lil Jon, they wanted someone to come out with something to party to, because they had lyricists. You can go back to guys like Chi Ali and, those type of guys, even in the city. You can go back to them. But somebody it was bad, man. It was, like, really, really bad. It was definitely it was something else around that time when they was on the rise too. What was going on in the city? Kids getting kidnapped all over the place, coming up missing. I remember that. But anyway, I don't want to start getting into other shit. That was bad. So we got to turn back up, get happy times, But Lil Jon was saying, hey, we need somebody to come in and just rock out. We got lyricists. We got guys that can give you some bars, so to speak. Let's just have some shit to rock out to. We don't care about lyrics. Just put a knocking ass beat on there, something and people can jump up and down to, shake their ass to, whatever for the women. And we in there. And that's what Lil Jon made. Crunk music. The crunk era. Everywhere you go, let's get this party crunk. Hey, man. Get the party crunk. Hey, man. That's when shit was really about a party. Cause see, when you saw Lil Jon, this is Lil Jon, man. The guy, he partied, man. Like in his songs, videos especially, party. You thought it was the party of the damn universe or something. But yeah, that crunk era wasn't no joke, man. I remember that shit. I know y'all do too. Come on now. Come on, from the windows to the walls to the sweat drip from my balls. Skeet, skeet, skeet. Come on, man. Y'all remember. I know y'all do. You couldn't go nowhere without hearing that one. It was over with. Shout out to Bone Crusher too. Shout out to him. I ain't never scared. We talking him and Lil Jon on the track. Do you know how insane that shit was? We had to go to parties around that time. People, hello. Shit. You had to be in shape listening to them niggas' music. You had to be ready to fight shit. Say, fuck them niggas from the south side. Like, nigga. Shit. But that was the crunk era. It just, what we call today turn up music. But back then it was called crunk. So that's 2 words from the South. Now that's 2 words from the slang of the South. Just to show you how important they are. Just to show you how they run shit at this point. You got Midwest, you got East Coast, you got West Coast. Like everyone in the culture, we're sounding like them. Just like them. Let's get this party crunk. If I had $1 for every time I either might have said it myself or heard someone else say it or saw it on a flyer somewhere at a party, some shit, man, do you understand? I had at least about 10 G's. Easy right now. And that's just in one pocket. Shut up. That's just in one pocket, people. That was big. It showed you how the South was running shit. Everything is about partying now. It's not about lyrics. Things about partying now. Shout out to Nelly. And now it's about having a grill in your mouth now. Paul Wall and them, Mike Jones, them guys, Niggas up north and rocking no grills. We wasn't Midwest, wasn't no grills. West Coast, wasn't no grill, Nobody was talking about a grill. Nobody. something else introduced us to. Now at this point, we talking like them. We doing their drugs with the lean and shit, and syrup. Excuse me. All this shit. We're just southernized to the core. Just southernized. But it's always been that way. When one side of the coast is in control of the culture. I mean, because West Coast, weed was a thing. You know, Snoop Dogg, hey, you know, everything about weed and drinking 40s and riding 6-4s and all that. We already know about New York, the East Coast. That's where the gang started at. We know, hey, that's why it's always been a thing. But at this point now, when them guys start doing their thing, you had guys from New York trying to sound like Southern artists, trying to talk like them, dress like them, emulate themselves on any type of wave or method, if you will, to be a part of that wave, I should say. Correct myself. So regardless, it's like, hey, the game been in the South for the last, what I say, 03? I said, what wait, 15, 16 years now. And I ain't want to go way back to like 94 with Outkast and them, you know, 96, motherfuckers mad at them for winning the Best New Artist at the Source Awards. And you got Andre 3000 up there, hey, I'm tired of y'all and all these closed ass mans, but hey, the South got something to say. Hey man, shout out, man. Round of applause, man. That was a big moment in hip hop, man. That was enormous, man. Diamond. For him to get up there and they're booing him, people booing them. Because they from the South. This was when the East and the West was going on. Biggie and Pac alive. Y'all do a time awards then. So for him to jump on that stage, go up there, have to accept that award as they're being booed, do you understand what type of balls and heart you had to have to say, man, fuck you motherfuckers. We got some shit to say when it comes to this shit. Yeah, we know the East Coast y'all doing y'all thing. Yeah, we know West Coast doing y'all thing, but the South got some shit to say. Fuck y'all. I just had to do a gunshot just cause I felt the like, nigga, bitch. I had to though. But regardless, that was the moment for a lot of the artists now from the last 15, 16, 17, almost 20 years. You ask a lot of them, T.I., one of them, that was the moment for him. We're like, all right, we here now. They finna listen to us now. We here. This is it. Because for a while, you always heard about Southern artists talking about how, you know, the New Yorkers was talking about them, how country they were, how they sounded in the raps, the accents, they ain't got nobody, you know, all that stuff. It's been going on for a while. So when the South finally gets on top, oh yeah, nah, yeah, y'all was us, now look at yeah, you know. Y'all gotta come down here now, nigga. We run this shit now. Like, we the hot thing. Yeah. All that. But just as much positive influence as the South had and still has on the game now, a lot of negative influence y'all have on the game now too with those same things that we just named. As has every coast. When you influence positive and negative all at once. That's what an influence does, especially depending on the approach. But if you're going to be influenced totally, no one thing is made up of all good or all evil. It's always a balance. Some cancels out the other. Some more evil than good, some more good than evil. It always balances itself out. So I say these drugs, this slang, this strip club culture got the women in, you know, And yeah, a lot of them had it rough, but compared to up here, I could say this: women were a lot more discreet about being a stripper or being a prostitute, hooker, whatever word you want to use. They were a lot discreet about it up here, up north, and even on the west. That's what I remember. I could be wrong, but from what I always was used to hear coming up, and just seeing too and hearing about it was always a lot more discreet. Women weren't so open with it. In the South, they was wide open with that shit. Like, no problem. Yeah, so-and-so strip over there, and no problem. Like, come have a drink, come have some food. Like, nobody, nobody. So that's another thing that people really have to factor in. You definitely have to factor that type of thing in. You absolutely have to, because at that point, like I say, that was big for everybody though when they did that, they went on that stage and did it. But like I say, it's always a negative and a positive influence. And we are Southernized right now. We are in the middle of the Southernization of hip hop. We was at the beginning of it, I believe, early 2000s. But then, because Outkast was definitely holding it down. Outkast and Luda, hey, man. Definitely. And I'm just saying Atlanta too, because I ain't gonna say the whole South, because I could, Scarface, hey, gunshot to him, double gunshot to him. It's fucking legend, shit. Ghetto Boys, rest in peace to Bushwick Bill. Rest in power, I should say. Had a chance to actually meet him in Chicago, up here, Bushwick Bill. Met him at a bar up here once. A guy did a show. It was something wild to be a part of, though, too. It was. I was like, wow, fucking Bushwick Bill, okay. Ghetto Boys. Legendary. One of the originals when it comes to the Southern history of hip-hop, for sure. But like I said, we're in the middle right now today of the Southernization of hip-hop people. Like, that's what's going on out here right now. So when people say that, but there's a lot more spitters coming out. They've always had lyricists. I want people to understand that. Because the guy just named Scarface, he's went at it with the best of the best as far as the lyrics and being an MC go. He's been there and done it. And Hope's face gets well too. He's in need of another kidney right now. Hope he gets well. Speaking of him, But regardless, they've always had spitters in the South. Always have. Always will, I believe. You got a guy like now, got like 21. He's on fire. Great album, and can rap. 21 can definitely give you some bars. Definitely. But see, you wouldn't listen to 21 looking for that, but you would get it anyway, more than likely. You listen to 21, hey, but you getting some bars from him. Now, he recently said, and I think with him, I think it's just competitiveness. I could be wrong, but, you start taking shots at the cats like Jeezy, T.I., and, Luda. Just saying, hey, the streets run this. I know one person or whatever it is, and hey, y'all, that goes back to the whole King of the South shit that T.I. went through back in the day, because you had guys like, him and Lil Flip went at it about that. Excuse me, shout out to Flip too, man. Well, I say South just, hey, South is South, man. They had guys for a very long time, I don't know who wasn't a Lil Flip fan. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't know, but it'd be hard pressed around that time to not run into a little Flip fan around that time. So But yeah, you definitely we're definitely in the middle of the southernization of hip hop, and I want folks to understand it is to be celebrated for sure. Legends like T.I., Jeezy, Luda, Outkast, Scarface, Ghetto Boys, Chi Ali, Gucci Mane, Jermaine Dupri, obviously production angle, but just from the hip hop, the rappers. I mean, hey, Atlanta and just the South in general has a lot of legends. I don't even have to name Master P and Cash Money. I'm not even gonna go that fucking far. That's obvious. That's obvious. But it's just one of the reasons why I say too, though, the South is just like every other coast that has to account for the negative influence that they was putting on the world. The South has to account for this too, because it's their time right now. So whatever needs to get cleaned up, I think you are seeing a lot of Southern artists take the initiative to put positive messages out here. Keep it going. Because I wasn't going to say they stopped, but keep it going. Keep putting positive messages out here, because I was going to do it again too. I caught myself. But keep putting that positive energy out here in the music, interviews, philanthropy, giving back to the community any way you can. Just doing their part, because they have influenced the world, definitely. Negatively and positively, I'd say. Definitely both ways. All this surgery getting done out here by the women. That was one of the bigger influences for it right now. Now, I'm not going to say it started there, but it's one of the biggest influences right now. You got Dr. Miami in the South, or it's one in Atlanta too, somewhere. So they definitely influenced the game negatively and positively out here, and they have to be held accountable. Same way West Coast is held accountable for the good and bad. Same way the East Coast has and was and still is getting held accountable for the good and bad. Now it's South turn, same thing, But I like how they're going about it so far. So you gotta respect the South, definitely. You gotta respect the South, and just But I had to start off with T.I. definitely on that, and just segue to the whole South. I say Luda, legend, Outkast, legend. Like I say, without Luda, we don't get 2 Chainz. I don't know if we do. Like, we don't get Titty Boy. I see. That's how far I go back. Damn it. I remember Titty Boy. Shit. Chi-Town woman up here, Shauna. Come on. We don't get none of them. I don't know them, but ain't for Luda. I didn't know Shauna till Luda. And I'm in Chicago. And that's not saying she wasn't the shit. Because she was, obviously, because he went, he wouldn't have known about her if she wasn't the shit to even want to bring her to the label. So, absolutely. So, we're in the middle of Southernization, people. We have to understand that it's all about balance out here. And I'm going to say it is before I switch over to the NBA now. Get to some sports. It's a difference out here nowadays. You got MCs and you got rappers. An MC is Scarface. An MC is Lil Wayne. An MC is T.I. An MC is Luda. An MC is 3000. So I mean, even Big Boy, you want to throw it in there. I personally wouldn't, just my personal opinion. That's not to question that man's pen. That man can wrap circles around a lot of people. I don't know if he's doing it with 3 stacks, but that's just me. But anyway, regardless, MC and a rapper. That's one of my first podcasts I did. It's a big difference. A lot of these guys out here nowadays are not coming into this trying to be the best MC or the best dude with the best bars. They're not trying to go about it that way. Because they don't have to. There's that much money in the game now. You don't have to have the best 16. You don't have to. You can simply have a great producer or a great beat, learn how to ride that thing, and hey, as long as that hook on point, hey, there you go. So you got a lot of people who coming in now, they're not artists, they're not rappers, but they're not trying to be an MC. They're trying to rap. So anybody can rap, Cat in the Hat, beat a broad with a baseball bat, like anybody can rap. Everybody can't MC. Think about it. It's much easier to rap. It's much easier to rap than it is to MC. Say that one more time. Much easier. Much easier. And I think what Lil Jon was almost single-handedly responsible for was bringing on a set of people who weren't trying to MC. They were just simply trying to rap to make some money so they could get out of the circumstances in the streets they was dealing with, or shortcomings, or whatever was going on. But because I'm gonna tell y'all this, a lot of this shit comes with a lot of this hip hop shit, man. A lot of these dudes back in the day, like the drug dealers set the tones for the neighborhoods, right? Because everyone wasn't having a lot of money like that. So they set the tone for what was cool to wear, latest cars, jewelry, being popular, all that stuff. They set the tone for that. So as an MC, as a guy in the game around the time as an MC, that's what they rapped about. They rapped about seeing the drug dealers and this and that. You know, and they rapped, you know, and they looked up to them. But what you also had going on was, it was a level of respect there too on a lot of cases. You know, the drug dealers would sponsor the rappers. You know, from studio, Pro Tools, everything. Cause they saw, oh, this dude nice. I'd put some bread behind him, or, you know, put some money with him, whatever, you know. So absolutely, it's you know, it's a lot out here, y'all. It's woof. South ain't no joke. South ain't no joke. So it is to be respected. Most definitely is. Because you got guys like Ross and T.I. are about to bless us with album number 11. Do you hear me? 11. Fucking 11. Y'all take that for granted, man. Y'all understand, when it comes to this hip-hop shit, most guys wasn't even supposed to get past 2-3 albums, man. You got guys on making it. You got guys on fucking album 11, man. What the fuck? Like, come on. You know, but I'm going to get into some more things, you know, this next pod. Ball into this NBA shit now, man. You know, so shout out to everybody. Y'all put some goddamn respect on T.I. name. Shout out to the South. Y'all run shit. Y'all run the good and the bad, though. So hold yourselves accountable and keep it, you know. Definitely. Now on to this NBA shit, man. You know, 3-1 series right now. I gave y'all the preview. You got Bron and the Lakers. Got Jimmy Bucks and them down 3-1 now. Jimmy came out and played a fantastic game 3, a 40-point triple-double basically. And then you had, you just had man. Bron had arguably one of his worst playoff games ever. The man turned the ball over like he was at a restaurant and he was in the back turning over them damn burger patties for customers or some shit. Like, hey, it was wild. AD had 80 fouls in the first damn quarter. I know I'm exaggerating. But he got in some early foul trouble. Basically, you just, wasn't working out for the Lakers that night. Wasn't working out for us. I'm a Laker fan too. Fuck y'all. Yeah, 2 gunshots for that. Mamba over here. But I've always been a LeBron fan. Him and Kobe have been my 2 favorite players and two of the best ever since Michael retired. And for me, if you're not going to bring those guys in there, you got to bring in guys like Tim Duncan or Shaq, something like that. But regardless, I'm gonna get right back to that in a minute. Don't get it fucked up. We gonna get back to that in a minute. But yeah, Jimmy had a hell of a game, man. One of the best games in the finals. A 40-point triple-double. Nobody's ever did it, including LeBron. It felt kind of 76er-ish, if you will. A lot of folks said that, compared it to the performance of AI Iverson in Game 1, where he dropped 48, almost 50 on the Lakers to beat them in that Game 1 of 2001 finals. And I still remember that too. Man, that was wild. But folks don't realize, man, the Lakers only lost 1 fucking game the entire playoff run. That was insane. They swept they swept Duncan. They swept the Blazers again. They swept the fucking Kings, Webber and them. They went through everybody, man. The fuck, like. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Anyway. Jimmy Butler had one of his best games, though. Lakers couldn't pull it off. It was 2-1. First couple games, Lakers were just dominated. Showed you why they are who they are. AD, 34-15. Bron, triple-double stats, 27, 10, 8. He got Kentavious Caldwell Pope. Shout out to KCP. He all over the place. Danny Green. Playoff Rondo. Trust me. Gunshot Rondo, man. We don't even get gunshots for Rondo. Fuck that. That dude is the 3rd best player on the team, man. We got our own big 3. AD, Bron, and Rondo. That's a big 3. Cause that's how the hell this man's playing. But he's done that everywhere he's went since he was a champion at Boston. Everywhere this man goes, he puts his imprint all over the franchise. It is felt like he is one of the best floor point guards. Oh my goodness, talk about a leader. I remember that's why him and Doc said sometimes we couldn't get along a lot of times. Not personally, but just when it came to basketball, because Doc would say, the dude is so smart, it's hard for him to listen. Especially at that time, he was young, it was hard for him to listen. Because he was that smart. He knew what the fuck he was talking about. He could see the game 3 plays ahead of time. He could see, once he knew what defense you was in and how you was playing, got to pick you to pieces, man. Pick you right to pieces. And that's what's been happening in this series too. Every game they won, he picked them apart. He got in there. I had folks saying, why they start Danny Green and KCP? Why ain't playing? I said, Rondo gonna be in there. Don't you worry about it. Rondo gonna be in there. Definitely will. You know, so the three wins the Lakers have had, that's really been the story. And Kyle Kuzma too, man. Another one, man. You got idiots out here starting petitions to talk about don't give him a ring and stuff, man. Y'all shoot y'all ass. Y'all ain't no damn Laker fans. Put a petition in for somebody to not get a ring. And this dude has been balling. What the hell y'all been watching? 15 to 18 off the bench the last couple games. And he didn't have such a horrible first two games either. I don't know what everybody. Look here. The Kyle Kuzma shit is beyond me. But hey, go off, as they like to say. You know. So now, Lakers up 3-1 now. Trying to go in there and close it out tomorrow night. We're going to see how it goes. It's going to be good, man. Shout out to the Heat, too, man. Nobody see them getting here. Shout out to the Heat, man. Eric Spoelstra, Mickey Erickson, that whole franchise. Like, Pat Riley. Come on, man. They didn't tank. They ain't try to lose 800 games, get a number one pick, none of that shit. Nah, they drafted well, scouted well, player development. And hey, they got it. They bought it back. You know, they bought that shit back. You know, you went and got Jimmy. Hey, rest is history, man. You add on a veteran like Goran Dragic. Shout out to him. You got a young go-getter Bam. You know, young all-star at like 22 now. So it's just like, hey, they got right back in the mix, man. So I'm proud of that franchise. They knew what the hell they were doing going to get Jimmy Butler, and I can see, and that's a team full of just rough riders / go-getters. You know, you want with you. You know, you got Jay Crowder, ride out. You know, you got Haslam on the bench. You know, Haslam's been in the league for so long. He's still like the only team. He don't even do left from the 06 championship run. He the only guy left from that shit that's still the franchise. When they won that first one with Wade and Shaq. So I mean, you got guys on that franchise and on that bench, and just, you know, just all in helping guys. You know, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, man. Hey, just shorty a gunshot, man. Got to, you know, give him a gunshot for sure. You know, young 20-year-old not giving 5 fucks out here taking step backs off the baseline on you niggas. Shit, I'm sitting there like, man, this little fucker, like 20 years old, man. They don't care. So I love it. I definitely love it. So, you know, we gonna see how that turn out Thursday. You know, we definitely gonna see how it turn out. You know, Bron, AD, hey, you probably look at it. Some folks are already making comparisons. I'm like, not just yet. You can't do the Kobe and the Shaq thing just yet. Like, no, not just yet, man. No, not yet. But should they win, this is a good start. This is a damn good start. You know, this is a damn good start. And we wearing the Mamba jerseys too. Come on, man, the Mamba jerseys. You know we ain't losing in the Mamba jerseys, man. Come on now, we do not lose in Mamba jersey anything. No, 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 and no. So it's like, hey, the guys gonna be ready, man. They definitely gonna be ready. It's gonna be a good matchup because closeout games are always the hardest because you know you guys fighting for not just their season but their livelihood. No game check stop. Once you stop playing, a lot of folks don't realize that with these athletes, especially if they don't have any endorsements, anything off the court. No game check. No money. You know, so because every athlete does not have an endorsement, a shoe deal or something like that. So That's one of the reasons. That's one of the biggest reasons why closeout games are so hard. You know, these are guys' livelihood on the line as well. So they definitely gonna get Miami's one of Miami's best shots. You know, Anthony Davis playing Jimmy Butler 2 on defense showed why he's the defensive player of the year. I love how Brian put that out there too. You know, nothing against Giannis, but hey, you know, Giannis wouldn't even guard Jimmy Butler. I guess when they played each other, I don't remember. You know, maybe off the switch, but never. Nah, coach, let me go get him. Bron was like, nah. AD was like, nah, let me get him. Take a load off, Bron. Like, you doing a lot already, so hey. You know, so we gonna see how it goes. We definitely gonna see how it goes. Shout out to Lawrence Frank, Executive of the Year as well. Definitely shout out to that, but I made my part about the damn Clippers. They are disgusting. Disgusting. You know, so we gonna see how that goes. Hopefully the Lakers can close it out. I am a Laker fan. I hope they close it out. I definitely do. We gonna see how it pop off though. We definitely gonna see how it pop off. It's Thursday night football too. I'm a Tom Brady fan, and they're going against our Bears, Chi-Town. This will be a good game, but then Brady gonna cook our damn muffin. Tom Terrific gonna cook our damn muffin, and the Bucs defense is pretty great as well. It ain't our defense, but hey, they got a nice defense too, so it's gonna be a good Thursday night game as well. It's gonna be a good Thursday night game. So sports is pretty good right now, people. I'm loving it right now. Sports is pretty good. You got the baseball playoffs going on right now too. You know, those are pretty good. We have 2 Chicago teams in there, but don't get me started on us. Please don't talk. We suck. You know, but at least we got both baseball teams in there. You know, but so sports is looking pretty good. And my last thing, get on out here before I get on up out of here. My last thing to get to, people, is our sexual decisions. Who we making, who we fuck up. Yeah, I know. Yeah. We make some terrible sex decisions out here, people. Just trash. Like, shoot myself and, hey, man. We make some terrible decisions out here, people. Terrible, man. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. You know, we have to do better. We have made each other's mom and dads before we have made each other husband and wife. Let that shit sink in, y'all. Like, really. Like, y'all don't like that. That is extremely off, people. We fucking up with that one. You know, we made each other moms and dads before we have made each other husband and wives. It can't keep going that way. Now I hear you, yeah, Steve, motherfucker get married and it don't work out and we still the baby daddy, still baby. Matter of fact, shut up. It's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is going into the situation on the right side of it. You go into the situation making each other husband and wife. Then let's try making each other mom and dad. Because that child is forever. That's a forever act. The marriage is supposed to be forever too. So we can't do one forever act and don't do the other. You know, like, if this dude is worth it to be the father of your child, he should already be worth it to be your husband. If this woman is worth it to be the mother of your child, she should already be worth it to be your wife. She should already be your wife. Because it don't balance out. Now, yes, shit does not work out all the time. I'm not talking about that once again. Zip it. I can hear y'all right now. It's not what I'm talking about. We start off so much on the wrong side of it. We gotta do better with that, y'all. We gotta do much better with that. See, I miss it where, like, when my parents had me. My dad married my mom. He gave it a shot. Now, if it don't work, it don't work. Okay, fine. But damn it, he gave it a shot. Had great years together, too. Great years. And my mom. Separated now, but still. Best of friends. My dad handled his business as a man. So I think it was always respect there. My mom and my dad. But regardless. Once they had me, husband and wife. So in the worst case scenario, friends. That family energy never left. That family structure never left. That co-parenting, that never left. Because I firmly believe of the marriage. We ain't got married. But Steve, they had you first and then he went and got married. Well, that was the culture then. Shout out to the 80s. That was the culture then. The culture was not going to allow you to have it was already kids out of wedlock. That was happening. But it wasn't so prevalent like it is today in our time. Holy shit. Like, y'all know, y'all know we running amok. Which is why I said we gotta do better out here. But in the 80s, nah, you wasn't getting away with that. You wasn't knocking up no woman and then talking about I ain't gonna be with her. It was happening, but not really. It was starting to grow as like the late 80s, and you start getting to like the 90s now. It was starting to grow like that, but that still wasn't the culture. It wasn't the overall culture then. The streets wasn't gonna stand for it. Your family wasn't gonna stand for it. Your friends wasn't gonna stand for it. Like somebody was gonna say something to you or hold you accountable to your face for that. Like, hey, you went knocked up woman. Damn it, you go be with her. You don't leave no woman out there messed up like that. That's for the men. Now for the ladies though too. Also what was being said was you don't let no man knock you up who ain't your goddamn husband. Yeah, y'all too. Hey, both sides had some accountability in this shit. That was the thing. Cause I heard my parents, that was their discussions, and that's kind of what they always instilled to me and my brother, So it wasn't like now, but we have to do better though, people. We have to get back to more of that. Myself included. That's why I say we all have to get better out here. We have to get into the mindset of being there for the long haul. Now, however you want to do it, hey, you're going to do it how you're going to do it. Do it your way. I'm just saying when it comes to making a child with anybody, at least go together first. At least get engaged first. At least get married first. At least do those things first. See if y'all can be forever before you try to create something that's fair. Let me correct myself. Try to see if y'all can last for the long haul before you go making a long haul act. Because creating a human being, that's a long haul act. That's an act of long haul. An act of the long haul, if you will. Child, that's a That's there. Despite some medical issues, hopefully not, something like that. You have a healthy child for the most part. The child is here. And not even just the child. The act. You two decided to make a child together. Y'all will never forget that act. That act can never be undone. Never. I don't care how you feel about it. Never. Yes, never. Ain't nothing you can do with that. So, women, watch who you let inside of a JJ. If he ain't your husband, your fiance, don't let him put shit in you. Nope. Fuck him. Make him earn it. Fellas. Yeah, I said that too. Fellas. If she ain't your fiance, if she ain't your wife, keep your sperm in the testicles, man. In the prostate. Yeah, I know. I know, man. Words of my brother, don't waste your sperm, man. I only say that because, once again, she's not yours, officially. This woman you just smashing, we gotta do better out here, fellas. Put something on your dick. Ladies, make sure they keep something on the dick. Shit. If he ain't yours, husband or fiance, engaged, nah, we got level up out here, y'all. We gotta level up. Because a lot of these kids need to see mom and dad together. It can't be so much of this, okay, I'm with mom, now I'm going to dad's house. Nah, they need to see it they need to see more of it under one roof, seeing mom care for dad, seeing dad care for mom. Like, the kids need to see those images in their mind. They need that. I was fortunate enough to see that coming up. And it made me want it. That's one of the biggest reasons why I've always wanted to get married. For as much slanging out here as I've done with women, I never one time not said I don't want to get married. I've never said that, and I never will. Because I saw what a marriage was like. I saw what a good marriage was like. I was in the middle of it. Me and my brother. I saw what it did. I saw the joys of it. I felt the joys of it. Shout out to that too, man. Very fortunate. Everyone did not grow up getting a chance to be witness to that. I'm extremely, extremely fortunate. So we just gotta do better on that, y'all. We definitely gotta do better on that. So just something I just want to really elaborate on. I got some more business to handle, so I'm gonna get the hell up out of here. So I had to go tackle those things real quick. So, shout out to the South. NBA Finals, Chicago sports right now. It ain't been a bad year. Bron go get that fourth ring. As a Laker fan, I'm saying that. And I'm gonna get it. And after that, I'm gonna get into more of this legend talk, because I know that's coming up next. This whole GOAT shit. I'm gonna dive in on that shit. We gonna dive in on that definitely. Right after tomorrow's game, actually. We're going to dive in on that because it's Thursday night. So we're going to dive in on that some more, for sure. So I got other business to handle, y'all. I'm getting the hell up out of here. Catch this podcast on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio through Spreaker. Catch me out on Instagram, Stephen ESKRI. That's Stephen ESKRI on Instagram. My Twitter is Stephen Eskridge #1. Stephen Eskridge #1 on Twitter. Catch this podcast on my YouTube channel as well. Type in Steve Eskridge. That my YouTube channel will pop up. This pops on there automatically. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. I'm on Google Podcasts as well. Catch me on there. Podcast Addict. I'm on there as well. Distributed from Spreaker. I'm on Spotify Podcast in the Society and Culture section of podcasts on Spotify. You can catch me in there. Type in Steve Eskridge. It will pop up. Better Late Than Never Podcast. We in the goddamn building. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. I love y'all. Peace.